Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Arda Guler, as it has been reported that Barca are waiting for the 17.5 million euro rated Wizkid, yes, before they can move ahead and prepare for his registration. Then secondly, talking about Oriol Romeo, as it has been reported that Barca are already in advanced talks with his club Girona over a potential transfer this summer. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. According to a report from Radio CAT, Barcelona are waiting for the final yes from Fenerbahce and Turkey wonderkid Arda Guler. The 18-year-old attacking midfielder has been one of the main targets for the incoming sporting director Deco, who has been working so hard to clinch the signing, even flying to Turkey to hold talks with Fenerbahce and the players' entourage. Deco's efforts have paid dividends as Barcelona are understood to be in pole position to sign Guler ahead of the clubs like Real Madrid and AC Milan. In fact, reports today suggested Barcelona president Joan Laporta and director Matteo Alemany went down to La Liga headquarters to keep the league informed about the developments and check on the possible registration of the player. While things are headed in the right direction, Guler is yet to give his final yes to Barcelona. The 18-year-old was set to have a meeting with Fenerbahce manager Ismail Kotal today, as well as discussions with his family about his next move. But all roads point towards the teenage prodigy, who has a 17.5 million euro release clause, arriving at Barcelona. The only question that remains now is whether the La Liga champions plan to rope him into the team this year itself or allow him to remain at Fenerbahce for another season so that he can play regularly and continue his development before arriving in Spain. Reports have suggested that Guler will be sharing his decision by tomorrow, but it may arrive at some point later tonight as well. Of course, Arda Guler is still the hot cake in the market. Barcelona are pushing and pushing and pushing. And to be honest, I'm so elated about the fact that Barca are more, in fact, they are certain that signing him will be something great. And after rumors of Real Madrid, AC Milan being the front runners for his signature, Barcelona have emerged from nowhere to be the front runners now. Barca now look more closer than ever to signing Arda Güler, and the move looks now inevitable. So Barcelona, as this report are saying, they are just waiting for a final yes from the player. Then they will just try to sort out everything, to finalize everything, do the important documentation, signing the papers in order to ensure that the player becomes a Barca player as soon as possible. So I think right now Barcelona's idea is to incorporate Arda Güler to the Barca team this season, not for next season, as they were first of all speculating in some reports. And of course, we know Barca already have a very rich midfield. I mean, talented midfield. The likes of Ilkay Gundogan, who just arrived as Barca's first signing, Pedri, Gavi, Frankie de Jong, Frankie C. If he stays, I think the midfield is so choked up. And I think if Arda Güler comes, yes, there's going to be a lot of depth, which I think depth is very important. Arda Güler is just still 18, and I think he'll be playing fairly good number of matches, but I don't believe he'll be playing all matches or to be a starter in all games. He might be a substitute in many of the games, or sometimes Javi might start him, depending on how the player have become acquainted to the style of play at Barcelona. Of course, Arda Güler continues to be the most talked about transfer target for Barca. Laporta and Alemany went to the La Liga headquarters, according to new reports, in order to inform La Liga about the player and their interest, and not just that, but most importantly to talk about the potential registration for the player, discuss on issues like that, so that La Liga will be aware of it if it ever happened. Because if Barca are making such a move, it means Laporta already have that idea that he wants to bring in Arda Guler, but this summer, as opposed to next summer, because there were a lot of rumors saying that Barca will just pay it instrumentally, then coming to an agreement with the player and his entourage that next summer of 2024, Arda Guler will be coming directly to Barca, you know, but that is not the case. From the look of things, Barca are trying to wrap up the deal. Maybe the player does not value such, because there have also been talks of the player wanting to join a top club this season by all means. He doesn't want to stay again in Turkey, as he doesn't want any opportunity to pass him by. He wants to, make use of any opportunity that comes his way. And for him, waiting again for next year will be a little bit long. So that's why Barca are doing their utmost best to ensure that they can secure Arda Güler's signing this summer, which I think will be something great. Hopefully, registration will be guaranteed, because normally I think his representative will also want to ensure Barca emphasize on the issue of registration. It should be guaranteed so that the player will have no issues in incorporating to the team next season. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Barcelona appear to be on the verge of securing the signing of yet another midfielder in the form of Oriol Romeu. Romeo has become the club's main target as they look to find short-term replacement for the outgoing Sergio Busquets. They have made some significant advancements in the negotiations as well. According to Alex Lona, Barca are now expected to call Girona as the Blaugrana look to further advance the negotiations. It appears Xavi Hernandez has already spoken to Romeo about his plans and wants to complete the signing as early as this week. It is hardly surprising, as replacing Busquets could be a tough task for any player, and with that in mind, Coach Xavi would want to have Romeo at his disposal as soon as possible. Luna's reports come shortly after speculation suggesting how Romeo is ready to make the move to Catalonia, and he wants to be at Barca to accelerate the transfer as quickly as possible. But Girona will not make things easy at all for the club. Although Oriol Romeo is not expected to cost a fortune, the Spanish outfit will still very much try to squeeze out every euro that they can. Even though it has been previously suggested that Romeo has a release clause worth 10 million euros, but reports suggest the midfielder could cost somewhere around 5 to 6 million euros. There had been talks of Barcelona offering a player such as Estanis Pedrola, to reduce that price. And even though Girona hold an interest in him, they want to treat the two transactions separately. With Barca now expected to make a call to Girona to negotiate the transfer for Romeo, things could get involved swiftly, and of course, the deal could be finalized soon, just like Xavi wishes. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.